Hello and welcome back to the MLB DFS slate breakdown for Monday, April 14th. We got 8 games to go over. I'm going to go over it shortly. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. Now come join us at LineStar. We do have a 7-day free trial through the App Store, Android or iOS app stores. Download LineStar app. Try us out 7 days for free. Now, let's jump in. Let's check out this slate, but before we do it, we're going to go over yesterday's perfect lineups, the winning lineups, and then get into pitchers to consider for today, followed by some stacks. All right, so yesterday, interesting Sunday main slate. We had Cole Ragans, Garrett Crochet went absolutely nuts. It was a pay up for pitcher type day. We had Ragans, Crochet, and Hunter Green all go off. Then hitting wise, we had a 2-man Blue Jay stack and all one-offs. The winning lineup on DraftKings went to Eric X, who had Hunter Green and Ragans. Both had a game. And then they had a pretty interesting lineup here. So 2-man Baltimore stack, 3-man Miami stack, 2-man Tampa Bay with a one-off of Washington. So 3-2-2-1. Don't see that very much, but hey, they used correlation and it came to play. The 2% owned Stowers who went nuts definitely helped him. He put up 28. Congrats, Eric X. Now let's get over to FanDuel. FanDuel perfect lineup. We got Garrett as the pitcher. We have all one-offs as far as the lineup, and the winning lineup went to Garrett. Then a 4-man Tampa Bay stack, 2-man Boston with a one-off of Judge and Stowers. Stowers, common denominator there. And Tampa Bay versus Sale, low-owned stack, put up 8 runs. So, pays to get different sometimes, and it definitely did today, or yesterday, I should say. Now, let's get into the slate. And I also got to say congrats to the winner, Scotty Bugs, 88. 15K, nice little Sunday bonus. All right, getting into pitcher on DraftKings, highest owned, Joe Ryan, 9K, 31% owned. I'm pretty surprised to see Ryan as the highest owned pitcher in this situation. Winds blowing out super hard. It is cold. And it's versus the Mets, which is, a decent offense. They haven't fully showed their stripes so far in this new season, but we know they have hitters. Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Vientos, Nemo. They got several guys that can really get it done. Joe Ryan, while 3.7 FIP over the last 20 starts is solid, it's not like elite. And then 4.3 over the last 5 starts isn't that great. K rate is fine. Combined K rate 21.7, that's fine. It's a little low for 9K salary. Then we look at his StatCast data, and this is why I am concerned with Joe Ryan today. He's a fly ball pitcher. 46.7% fly balls. We have 15 to 20 mile an hour winds blowing out to center. The ball is going to carry a little bit. It is cold, but I would expect a dinger or two to happen in this game. And I don't love going with a fly ball pitcher when it's super windy out. So I do worry about that a little bit. I also worry about the upside. The combined K rate just isn't that high. And the Mets only striking out 18.9% versus righties over the last 20 games. I really don't love the spot for Joe Ryan here. Shocked to see him being this high owned. I'm fine with a little bit. It's absolutely not a total fade situation, but I'm going to be under 31% on him. Framber Valdez, 8,800, 29% owned versus the St. Louis Cardinals. SCL keeps getting it done a little bit on offense here. The splits are pretty solid versus them. The other thing is that Framber does have reverse splits, so lefties are actually a little bit better versus him than righties. But all in all, I think it's an interesting spot here for Framber. Framber, 2.96 FIP over his last 20 starts. We know he is one of the very good pitchers in this game, but been a little rough over the last 5. 3.97 FIP. So far this year, he has been decent. Solid game, 7 innings, no earned runs, 4 Ks. Backed it up versus San Francisco with 5 innings, 5 earned runs, and 9 Ks, and then a gem with 6 innings, 8 Ks, no earned run at Seattle. Very interesting spot. He hasn't been as good on the way. This game is away, but he is a ground ball pitcher, so I wouldn't worry too much about the winds blowing out to right at 10 miles an hour. I'm a little interested in him, not overly interested. There is some upside with him. We know he can work late into games, and he can rack up some strikeouts when he's on. I don't mind having a little bit. I also don't mind fading it a little bit. I think 29% is a little high for me, but I don't mind a little bit. Next, we got Shane Baz, 8,400, 25% owned versus the Red Sox. All right, we got to talk about this Red Sox team. They have been so boom or bust, striking out at a decent amount. Over the last 20, striking out at 24%. Shane Baz, over the last 5, has a 28.7% K rate. There's big-time upside in this matchup, so I'm absolutely interested in Baz. The issue, we're in Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. It is a small ballpark, especially to right, and we got 9 mile an hour blowing out to right. Nice weather. There is probably going to be a home run or two from the Red Sox. The issue here is, does it come from Baz, or is Baz able to keep them at bay a little bit, maybe allow a solo homer, or are there people on base when the homers happen? There's also strikeout upside in this spot. I think Baz is a very interesting play. I don't mind having some of them. 26.3% combined K rate at 8,400 is higher than the 2 highest owned. So there's upside, meaningful upside that I do like here, and it's an interesting one. He's 25% owned. I'm fine with that. Dustin May, 9.3K, 25% owned. These Colorado Rockies are absolutely awful. Excuse me. Still have a little bit of the cough. And there's upside in Dustin May. So Dustin May does only have a 22.5% K rate over his last 20, 19% over the last 5. He is still working back from injury. He is extremely good, but the strikeout stuff hasn't totally been there. Did show it versus Atlanta, then only had 1K versus Washington. Now, I think he's a very good pitcher. I do worry about the upside at 9,300 for a guy that's going to probably go mid-80s in pitches, maybe get to 90, but these Rockies are awful. Striking out 8.9%. We got a 24% combined K rate, still higher than Joe Ryan. He is a little more expensive, but a much better matchup. I don't mind some Dustin May. Think he may be going a little over-owned, but I do like him. Next, we got Sonny Gray, 8,500 versus the Astros. Astros their bats finally have woken up a little bit. So I don't absolutely love picking on them, but because they are a team that will generally see a lot of pitches, get pitchers out a little bit earlier. They don't strike out a lot. But Sonny Gray does have some big-time upside. 29% K rate over his last 20, 32.7 over the last 5. His StatCast data, however, is very scary. The wind is blowing out, 46% fly ball rate, 36% hard contact rate, a ton of barrel balls. Houston's not a team you want to allow barrel balls to and a lot of hard contact. So I don't love the matchup. There is upside there. I'm fine if I get a little bit, but I'm not going out of my way to get him. Seth Lugo, 7,600, 16% owned. I do think Seth Lugo is going a little under-owned. Yankees, over the last 20 games, striking out at 29.2%. There is upside in this matchup. While Lugo could absolutely get crushed, he also could work 7 innings, have 5, 6 Ks, and no earned runs. This Yankees team, it is what they've been for the last few years. They are a little boom bust. And if he can quiet these bats, it's a very interesting spot. And 7,600 for the ceilings that Lugo is able to show is a very interesting spot. What did he do against the Yankees in New York last year? 7 innings, 105 pitches, 10 Ks. The 2 games where he was at home, he allowed 4 runs and 2 runs. I think it's an interesting spot. He hasn't got totally blown up by the Yankees in a bit, and he is only 7,600, 23.8% combined K rate. I don't mind having a little bit of Lugo. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm interested. Dylan Cease, 9,800 versus a red-hot Cubs team. Cease got absolutely blown up last game. 9 earned runs, 78 pitches, 4 innings, 4 Ks. That's not the Cease we know. Cease is, however, much better at home. 29% more fantasy points at home. The Cubs, or the Padres, have been extremely good at Petco Park, 10-0 at Petco. And while the Cubs are very hot, I don't mind some Dylan Cease. One thing we know about Cease is he is a gamer, he's a very solid pitcher, and it is very rare he's going to have 2 very bad games in a row. I would expect a bounce back. I don't mind a little bit of Cease. However, it is a tough matchup, and the Cubs are one of the best offenses in the league so far, so I don't love them, but interested. Next, Tariq Skubal, 10.5K. Sorry, throat's getting a little dry with the cough there. But Skubal is my favorite pitcher on the slate. Shocked that he isn't higher owned. He won the Cy Young, 2.54 FIP over his last 20. Little rough start with a 3.63 FIP over his last 5, but we know how good he is. We know there's major K upside. I love the spot for him versus this Milwaukee team. They've been hitting decently, but I am totally fine with attacking it. Striking out at 24.3% versus lefties. There's upside. Skubal's too good to not have higher ownership. I love the spot. Then I got 2 kind of bargain pay down options. Tyler Alexander at 7K versus the Tigers. Alexander over the last 5, 3.25 FIP is interesting with the 25% K rate. Don't love the StatCast data, but I think there's upside versus a team that their splits aren't looking great versus lefties. So interested in that spot. Big time upside with almost 28% combined K rate. Then we got Clay Holmes, 7,500 versus Minnesota. Minnesota has not been a great offense so far this year. Holmes, 2.5 FIP over his last 5 starts, 3.05 over the last 20. There's strikeout upside here, 29% K rate over the last 5. StatCast data is allowing a little too many hard hit balls, but hey, as long as that doesn't come to the big hitters in Minnesota, it can definitely go his way. 25% K rate. I'm a little interested. This Minnesota team hasn't been hitting the ball very well, so I like that. On to FanDuel with our high-owned pitchers. Skubal. I think he should be the highest owned. I'm going to probably have a lot. Framber, 10.7. I'm all right with a little bit. Dustin May, 8.7K over here. Fine with a little bit, but I do worry he's got to be really efficient to go 6 innings. That's my issue with May. 8,400 for Dylan Cease is too low. I will absolutely have some Cease. I will have some Lugo. I'll have some Baz. And that's probably as low as I go. I think Holmes, a little too expensive. And Gray, not in a great spot. Alexander, just don't love the upside there when we have so many other guys being high owned. Or so many other high-priced pitchers that have ceiling. Now, let's get into some stacks. See what we can uncover here. And now let's get to some stacks to consider. All right, we got Atlanta Braves, 87% owned versus Easton Lucas. Don't love this spot for him. One, this Braves offense have just looked terrible. I am so sorry, Ryan Humphreys, but it is true. Your team is not hitting the ball very well right now. Lucas has shown some upside. He is unproven. Don't really know what to do with him yet as far as a pitcher, but 3.93 FIP so far is decent. And this Braves team going high owned, I think, is a little crazy. Dodgers, you got to love it. I don't mind having some Dodger stack. Senzatella is not a good pitcher. Dodgers are going to score 4 or 5 runs at least, and there's pluses on top of that. Fine to go there. The team hasn't really started clicking offensively yet either, and I'd expect Freeman to be back in the lineup. Highest projected, Dodgers. No surprise there. Our highest value stack, we got Colorado versus Dustin May. If Rockies can get May out early, I think there's a path to them being all right. They generally play divisional games tough, but this Colorado Rockies team is terrible right now. Houston versus Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is allowing a lot of hard contact, a lot of fly balls, a little scary, winds blowing out. I don't mind a little Houston. Padres versus Tyone. Absolutely love it. This Padres team has been very good. And I don't mind that back half of the order value, guys. Gavin Sheets been hitting the ball very well. Hayward, meh. Iglesias can do a lot of different stuff. Lockridge has a ton of speed. Diaz has some pop. I think that's fine. Colorado, don't like it. Highest ceiling, we're going to see Dodgers here, and Cubs. Cubs are very interesting. Dylan Cease got lit up last time. I think it's very doubtful he does it 2 games in a row, but this Cubs offense is hitting the ball very, very well right now, and you need to consider them a little bit. They're too low owned for their ceiling. Yankees versus Seth Lugo. Yankees offense can get it going, especially at home. I'm fine with a little bit of Yankees, even though Lugo's a very good pitcher. And highest leverage, we got Cubs versus Cease. No surprise there. As far as the teams, we got the Atlanta Braves at a 5.3 implied run total. I think that's too high. Just me. If you want to stack them, go for it. Yankees 5.3, Dodgers 5, Tampa Bay 5. This Tampa Bay game has very good hitting weather. The offense has been decent. I'm fine. Go there. Tanner Huck's allowed 34.7% hard contact. Fine with a little bit of them. Mets versus Joe Ryan. If Joe Ryan is coming in high owned, Mets have some very nice leverage, and I'm fine attacking that. Detroit versus Tyler Alexander. While I think Alexander is proving him a little bit himself as a pitcher, I don't mind a little bit of the Tigers. That bullpen in Milwaukee has been bad so far. Padres versus Jameson Taillon. Absolutely interested. The bullpen's not great. Houston, I'm fine. KC. The Royals haven't been hitting the ball very well yet, but this is a great spot. Nice hitter-friendly venue. Carrasco's been bad. Allowing a ton of hard contact. I don't mind that one. And outside of that, I'm pretty much done. I don't mind a little bit of a leverage stack in the Cubs, but that's purely just because they're a high-octane offense with a good pitcher. So I'm not going to have a ton of Cubs. Don't mind if I get a couple of them. That's going to be all for us today. Hope you guys have a good one. Let's make some money. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Peace.